Everybody, it is Sarah, and today I'm going to show you how to make this ice cream cone keychain. I sold out of these at my last market, so I'm definitely going to be making more, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's very beginner friendly, it's very easy to make, so let's get into it. So I'm going to be using a 4.75 millimeter crochet hook. That's just what size I like to use. I think it ends up turning out a good size. I'm also going to be using a 4-ply worsted weight yarn. I'm going to choose this pretty pink sparkly color for the ice cream, and then any tan color for the cone is a good idea. So both of them are 4-ply worsted weight yarn, and then you're going to need a darning needle, a stitch marker, a pair of scissors, a little bit of cotton, and optional is any just a keychain holder. So also though, like if you didn't want to turn this into a keychain, it would also be good as a catnip toy, because I have sold these as catnip toys without this. So this is also completely optional. So let's start. Okay, so we're going to start off with a magic ring and single crochet 6 inside that magic ring. Oops, almost lost my string there. So go ahead and single crochet 6 into the magic ring, and then when you're done with that, you're going to pull that nice and tight. And then for round 2, it's an increase round, and we're going to go directly into that first single crochet that we did and do 2 single crochets to increase directly into that single crochet. And I'm going to go ahead and mark it. Okay. And then I'm going to do 1 more single crochet before I add the keychain. I'm sorry, I'm going to do 1 more increase before I add the keychain. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this, and I'm going to just put this up against that next stitch and just add it like it's an extension of that stitch right there. See, I'm going to go through it, go through the stitch, and then I'm going to do my increase just like normal, going through that. And I like to do 3 on here. So for part of my next increase, I'm going to do it through the keychain. And then I'm going to set that aside. Not really set it aside, but kind of move it aside. And I'm going to do my remaining increase in here. Okay. And then finish out my increases for the round. Okay. Now you should have 12. Okay, so for round 3, it's another increase round, and we're going to do 1 single crochet and then 2 into the next. Make sure to mark that first stitch so you don't lose it. And then go ahead and continue that pattern all the way around. 1 single crochet and then an increase. And then I will meet you guys at the end of this round. Okay, I have reached the end of round 3, and for rounds 4 through 7, you are just going to do 1 single crochet into each of the stitches. So I am going to go ahead and mark the side of that first stitch that I did, so that I don't have trouble when I'm going into the top of it, and I know where I started. Okay, and like I said, rounds 4 through 7 are 1 single crochet all the way around, and make sure not to skip any, and I will meet you back at the end of round 7. Okay, so I'm at the end of round 7, and I'm going to be turning mine inside out, and I'm actually going to do this off camera, but I'm going to be sewing in my string the inside. Oops, where are we? Go ahead and sew this end in all the way in here, all the way around, and pull it really tight. Okay, so now that that's all nice and sewed, we are going to remove our stitch marker. We're at the end of round 7, and round 8, where's my hook? There it is done into the front loops only, into right here, not the back, not the whole thing, just the front loop. So for the first one, we are going to slip stitch into the next stitch, and then we're going to single crochet, and then we're going to do a half double into that same stitch right there. Now going into the very next stitch, we're going to do another half double into the front loop only, remember. We're going to do a we're going to do a single crochet into that same stitch. And then we're going to slip stitch into the same stitch. And then we're just going to repeat this all the way around. So we're going to slip stitch, single crochet, and half double. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do a half double, single crochet, and a slip stitch. So basically we're going up and then down, and that's how we create the little bumps on the edges. So go ahead and do that all the way around, and I will meet you right here. Okay, so once you reach the end right here, one way I like to get this in here is to turn it around. I drop my hook, and then I'm going to just go ahead and reach into the bottom where this hole is right here, and I'm going to grab that loop, and I'm just going to pull it through. Oops, where is it? Don't lose it. And then that kind of hides that away like that and gives it a more clean look. And I'm going to chain 1, give this a little snip, give it a little bit of a tail. Go ahead and pull that through. Okay, nice, cute. It's adorable. Okay, so going into the bottom right here, we are going to work into these back loops, and we are going to now switch colors into our tan yarn. So you're gonna work into the back loops right there. So go ahead and stick and we're gonna work kind of close to where we ended right here so that we can sew our tails together. And if you wanted to actually go back a few stitches, you could, but I'm actually gonna go right here. Okay, I'm gonna add my string, chain 1, and then for this round we are just going to single crochet all the way around. And I'm gonna actually carry these both with me is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to hide those in there and single crochet all the way around in the back loops only of the previous round. So, or the round before that. Sorry. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the back loops only. And I'm just going to let that fall now. And single crochet all the way around. And I will meet you at the end of this round. Okay, so we've reached the end of this round, and there are no more back loops, and you have 18 stitches all the way around. And so for round 10 and 11, we are going to do single crochets, 1 single crochet in every single stitch all the way around. Go ahead and make sure to mark the side of that first stitch you just did. Right there. So that you can keep track. And so go ahead and do 2 rounds of single crochet, 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around. And I will meet you at the end of round 11. Okay, so for round 12, it is going to be a decrease round. So we are going to single crochet 1 and then do a decrease all the way around. So 1 and then an invisible decrease. And I'm going to go ahead and mark that first stitch. And go ahead and do that all the way around. I'll do it one more time for you in case you've never seen an invisible decrease before. So you do one single crochet and then go through one. It's only done in the front loops, just like that. So go ahead and do that all the way around and I will meet you right there. Okay, so at the end of round 12, this is where I'm going to take these two ends right here and I'm just going to tie them in a knot. Tie them in 2 knots. And then just give it a little snip. Tuck those in there, and I am going to stuff this a little bit so that we keep it so that it's easier to stuff later on. Because now that we've started our decreases, it might get a little tricky. So go ahead and stuff that nice and fluffy for that. There we go. I am gonna have to go get more cotton. Okay. All right, so for rounds 13 through 15, you are going to do a single crochet in each stitch around. So 3 rounds of single crochet, 13, 14, and 15. Make sure you're marking that side of that first stitch of the round. And go ahead and do 3 rounds of single crochet, and I will meet you back here at the end of round 15. Okay, so your ice cream cone should look something like this right now. So go ahead and remove that stitch marker. And row 16 is going to be another decrease round. So what we're going to do is a decrease in basically every stitch around. So you're going to do it 6 times. So go ahead and do your 6 decreases. Don't forget to mark that first stitch that you started at so you don't get confused. So go ahead and do your 6 decreases and I will meet you back at the end of this round. Okay, so I've gone ahead and removed the stitch marker, and from here on out, the best way I have found to get fiber fill down into that tiny little hole, instead of stretching it out with your finger, I just use a pencil. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. There we go. I just push it in there with a pencil as I go so that I'm not stretching it out too much, but anyways, that's how I have found is the easiest way. So for rounds 17 through 19, so 3 more rounds, and you're going to do single crochet all the way around. So and it might be kind of difficult. I understand that it's only 6 stitches around, but you can do it. I believe in you. So go ahead and do your 3 rounds of single crochet. Make sure to mark that side stitch, that first crochet that you did, just like this. And go ahead and do your 3 rounds of single crochet and I will meet you at the end. Make sure that you're stuffing it as you go with the pencil or whatever you choose. Okay, so once you've reached the end and you've I have a pencil because I've kind of stuffed that in there. You're gonna go ahead and remove your stitch marker and you're going to do a slip stitch into the very next stitch. So right there, you're gonna do a slip stitch. You're gonna chain 1 to secure it. And then you are going to snip off a little bit of a tail so that you have it to sew the end in. Okay. And now we are going to work into the front loops only and weave in our end right here. And so I like to do it in the front loops. Just up and down through each stitch all the way around. You can go up and down like that if you choose. Whatever is clever. Okay, so go ahead and cinch that closed, nice and tight. And you're gonna go right below where that is, and you're gonna make a knot right in there. to secure that nice and tight. And then we're just gonna poke this in there, come up anywhere really. There we go. Just a little snip. And look at that. You got a little ice cream cone keychain. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? I love this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I really appreciate you guys watching my tutorials. I love coming up with these patterns for you. I hope you're enjoying my channel. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I can't wait to put these out at my next market. I love doing them in all different colors. I was going to do an orange, but I think the one I have is too bright, so I'm going to try to find a softer orange because I love orange creamsicle ice cream. So that's definitely going to be my next one. But anyways, hope you like this tutorial. See you guys next time. Bye.